Welcome, everybody. It's episode 4 of the conference room here on the Q92 Sports YouTube page. Of course, you can watch this also on our Q92 Sports Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And a pleasure to be joined by head football coach and athletic director at Canton McKinley, Antonio Hall, taking some time. Probably one of the busiest men in Stark County all year round. And, Coach, I know how busy you are. I know how many things you got going on right now. Can't thank you enough for spending a couple minutes with us here today to catch up on McKinley football.
Always a pleasure. I really appreciate all the things you guys do for our program and the programs throughout the county.
And I want to, before we get into everything, too, I want to touch on that too. Q92 Sports here, we do about 7 games a week. We're everywhere. And I got to tell you, just on a personal note, the guys that call these games for us, one of the names that always comes back to me about who treats us the kindest and with the most respect, it's always you, Coach. I got guys that say how personable you are and how welcoming you are. And I just want you to know on a personal level, I appreciate that. And you don't always get it. And we appreciate that you respect what we're trying to do and you help us out when we're trying to cover you guys and call your game. So thank you for that respect that you give us.
Well, that means a lot. Thank you very much.
So let's get into it, man. It's year 3 of your reign here at Canton McKinley football. And of course, now we've added athletic director as if you were busy enough. But if you give like a state of where Canton McKinley football is, how happy are you with now the program being installed, your program, your vision, and where you see it going? How happy are you now with where you at as to where you were?
Well, I'm never happy. So,
okay.
But I do feel that this is the best place we've been in so far. And I'm happy with the progress that we've made, definitely. Our team GPA up is up substantially, as a matter of fact. Our attendance, our punctuality, all that continues to improve. Our work ethic continues to improve. The buy-in to the culture continues to improve. We had a great offseason with our strength and conditioning coach, Coach Shane. So that continues to improve. So as long as we see the bar keep raising, that's what we want to see.
And when you come in and you try to install a culture like you're talking about with the promptness, things like that, how quick did the kids come around to that? Because sometimes it's tough when they got a new voice in there. Obviously, we're in year 3 now, but to have it now where it sounds like everybody is on that same page now, the expectation, what we expect at McKinley for the football program. Did the kids take to it pretty quickly?
Some yes, some no. It's all about building relationships, and to build relationships with 80 to 90 guys, it takes a little while, but I feel that I hope this is the case, but I feel that they genuinely feel that I have their best interest at heart, that my coaching staff has their best interest at heart. And so with that, we can coach them with higher expectations, we can demand more, and we can push the bar in our development.
Now, you talk about how much you care about these players on and off the field because you touch on the grades, things like that. One of the things I noticed with you, Coach, that's really cool to see is how proud you are and how much you tout on your own personal social media, not just the McKinley, but your personal, about when your players get these scholarships, whether it's a scholarship to go to an SEC school, whether it's a D2, D3. You could just tell the pride you have in these kids that get to go from playing on Friday nights to Saturday afternoons and Saturday nights. And how important do you think that is to show them and show the program and show these kids that you're doing everything you can to help them with their future? Because I see it. I always notice on your social media, anytime a kid's got an offer or it's going to be on your personal social media. And how proud are you as a coach and how hard do you work to try to help these kids end up? Because you are at a program where a lot of these guys have aspirations of playing on Saturdays.
Right.
And how excited are you to help these kids and how proud are you when you see them at the next level?
I'm extremely proud. I mean, our product spans wide and far. I mean,
yes.
At every level of my playing career, as soon as I said I'm from Canton, it was almost automatic. Did you play for McKinley? It wasn't, did you go to Glen Oak? Did you go to Central Catholic? It was, hey, did you go to McKinley? And so, just reinstilling that pride for our program, that pride for our community, and seeing it permeate through our young people, and now starting to transcend down to the middle school, and with our youth league now that we have underneath the high school's direction, you start to see it come back. And everything that I do within this program or the community is try to instill some sort of inspiration for all the generations to come.
It's awesome to see. And I saw on social media too. I'm a Bears fan, so
Right.
I'm well aware of who you had in town a week or two ago to talk to your kids. How great is it when you have that program and you have an opportunity to pull a guy like Robinson and have him come back, a guy who's now was a quarterback at McKinley, now a defensive lineman for the Chicago Bears,
Right.
and have him come in that Bears jersey and talk to your players? How great was that? And how was he easy to get to come? Was it easy to get him to come talk to your kids?
Oh yeah. I mean, to answer the first part, it was a very surreal experience because this is what every kid hopes to aspire to. Now, once they see the grind and the avenue you have to take to get there, some people shy away. But to have a guy who went the unconventional way, especially in today's world where it's about, transfer portals, and if I'm not getting my way, I'm gonna leave.
Right.
And here's a guy who stuck it out, who changed positions twice, who did it the old way. And we talk about trusting the process and that old fashioned grind to master your craft day in and day out. And in today's day and age, to me, it's even more priceless because of the element that we're currently in. So for our kids to see a guy do it the right way and be successful, man, I'm speechless with how much appreciation I have for that opportunity.
Yeah, it was really cool to see. Now, obviously, now athletic director at Canton McKinley as well. That's been your job for a while too. Now, I'm just curious, for a head coach at Canton McKinley, like that's not job enough for you to take on the athletic directing role. Can you just talk about what the challenges were when that came, and how you have the time basically to cover all? Because now, I mean, you're in charge of all McKinley sports, whatever it is. You're helping. I know you have an amazing support staff with you.
Right.
But can you just talk about that journey as adding athletic director as well to what you do at McKinley?
Well, I mean, it's a daunting task. Fortunately for us, we got Mike Schott to come over from Alliance, and he's really stepped into that athletic director position, allow me to be associate athletic director, where believe me, I still have, with a place this big and the things that we have going on with our new indoor, with Munson, with our youth programs, with there's plenty enough to do, but with Joe Bogdan here in the athletic department, he's an amazing guy. Mike Schott's here, he's an amazing guy. We have a great support staff with Lisa Owens, our secretary, Kim Heaton, Nancy Piccone. It really takes our team. And for this operation to go, it takes all of us. And I'm truly blessed to have the team I have surrounding me.
That's all. Now, I want to talk about the Maslow-McKinley just rivalry for a second. How cool it is. You are in such a unique position as where you are someone who had has the honor of said that you not only put on the jersey and played in the biggest high school rivalry in the country, but now you've gotten to say you played and coach in the biggest high school rivalry in the country. I'll say I think that's a very fair statement. Can it just have you ever sat and thought about that? And what are the differences in playing as a kid and now coming back and coaching in that game? Because God, I'm on the sidelines every year for that coach. It's just a different game. It's just a different feel, the energy, no matter which stadium you're at, is on such a just different level. What is it like playing and then now coaching in that rivalry?
Well, as a player, I won a lot, and as a coach, I haven't. So,
well, I wasn't trying to go there, but
there's definitely been mixed emotions based on the two outcomes. But definitely, I'm very privileged to be in this position. Just to be the only alumni in this historic, prolific, illuminated program, and they chose me to be the first alumni to head it. So that alone is very humbling and an honor. But then to lead my community, into that game, I can't put into words what it means to be that general for us to go against our arch rivals out west.
It's an unbelievable game. Let's look real quick ahead at the 2023 football season you guys got coming up. Federal League speaks for itself, Coach. It is a war week in and week out. But you look at, Warren Harding, Avon, Dublin Kaufman this year, another impressive schedule. Almost all of that schedule, it's on the screen right now, was in the playoffs last year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it never gets easy playing a Canton McKinley schedule. And like I said, the Federal League, it speaks for itself. But, even like a Warren Harding, I mean, that's a historically strong program out of Trumbull County that they always compete.
Yeah.
It's a very intense schedule this year.
It is. And that's how I want. I mean, there's no point to do what we're trying to do if we're not battle tested. We're not going to compete week 10 if we're not battle tested. We're not going to win the Federal League if we're not battle tested. We're not going to make a run in the playoffs if we're not battle tested. So, some coaches feel that, you should only pick, one, maybe two tough out of, non-conference games, kind of build your confidence. I'm from the thought of, I want to see where we stand right away. I want to know what we have to fix right away. I want to know what we have to work towards right away, so that we have the season. There's no point to get a false sense of accomplishment by beating the hell out of somebody who we have no business playing. I want to play the best. I want to compete. I want to travel. I want to prepare our guys for weeks 10 through 16.
Now, in the off-season program, what have you noticed from this team in the off-season, particularly these seniors, as they take that true leadership role into this season?
This year, there's definitely been more consistency. I think prior to this year, I think we would average maybe 30, 35 guys a day in the weight room. And I think this year we were between 45 and 50 guys a day consistently in the weight room. And that's through winter sports. That's through spring sports. So just them understanding that the commitment and the consistency has to be there for us to do what we're trying to accomplish.
Now let's switch gears away from high school football for a second, because and you kind of touched on some of your answers, how much you care about the community of Canton and everything, and especially when it comes to sports. And you've been working really hard with the National Football Hall of Fame, and that weekend is coming up here, July 28th and 30th, as you can see on the screen. Talk about how you got involved in this and why you're so passionate about this, and what an exciting weekend it's going to be.
It is. It's very exciting on a lot of levels. I mean, this was something that I thought should have already been established, and I already kind of started taking some notes and trying to figure out how to establish it. And lo and behold, somebody reaches out to me who's already had the naming rights, who's already kind of put a formula together, and wanted to know if I just be a part of it, because they, like me, feel that this is not only the mecca of professional football, this is the mecca of football. And, with Canton being what it is, with Massillon being with what it is, they thought that Stark County would be the perfect place to have the National High School Football Hall of Fame. And I agreed. And so it's been a grassroots effort. It's only growing. We have potential sponsors coming in next year, like Rydell. We're trying to pitch it to some other people like AT&T, Huntington Bank. So this thing is only going to grow and get bigger. The first class is tremendous. I mean, you look at the names, and I think 18 out of the 23 have committed to come in for the weekend. So we're planning to do a great weekend, host them, showing that great Canton and Stark County hospitality. And we're just only going to go from here.
Yeah, you talk about that class. It is unbelievable. One of which Motley, and that's interesting to me because of the statue that is there now. You have a lot to do with that. I remember you a couple years ago coming on the Q92 morning show with me when you were just getting that started, trying to get the information out there, trying to help raise the funds. You watched that come to fruition. On a personal note, what was that like for you to see something like that you were behind, you were working with others so hard to get, and it came through and it happened, Coach?
It was very cool because, the whole point of that is, I told my students that year when I was at St. Thomas, I told them that I was going to do this, and I didn't know how I was going to do it. Fortunately, I surrounded myself with great people. We had a great board, guys like RJ Van Alman, Jill Thomas, Dave Jingle. And so, we just continued to grow it. And the more people heard about it, the more people wanted to be a part of it. And so I'm kind of taking that same route with this National High School Football Hall of Fame. Just hit the ground running. And hopefully I can look back a couple years from now and do the same thing I did with the Motley situation and say, look at what we've started, look at what it's become.
And if anyone that watches this and wants to get tickets, wants to be a part of this, how can they do so?
You can go to our website, NHFS, or the National High School Football Hall of Fame .com, and tickets are on sale. $25 for tickets, $60 for a red carpet where you can come and actually meet and take pictures with the Hall of Famers prior. So very exciting weekend. We have the reception that's open to the public the night before at the DoubleTree. So all the information is on our website.
Coach, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to talk to us here for a few minutes today. Again, I know how busy you are. Again, I can't thank you enough for how gracious you always are with your time with us here at Q92 Sports. We're doing 9 of your games this year, so you'll be seeing us throughout the season. We're looking forward to calling those games. It's always a pleasure, and good luck to you, not only with the Bulldogs this season, but with the Hall of Fame and everything you're working on for the city of Canton. We appreciate having you around, man. You're good for the area.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that, brother.
All right, we'll talk to you down the road, Coach.
All right, have a good one.
All right, that's Coach Antonio Hall, Canton McKinley Bulldogs head coach, as you can see on the screen right there. Those are all the Canton McKinley football games that we'll be broadcasting on the Q92 Sports Network this season. You see them right there. You're going to catch them all, including that one with Massillon at the end. And if you're a Canton McKinley fan and supporter and you'd like to advertise and support the McKinley Bulldogs in our games this year, just call that number on the screen, 330-450-9250. Ask for John Bozica or Mark O'Brien, and they'll hook you up if you'd like to run some advertising and support the Canton McKinley Bulldogs. This has been episode 4 of the Conference Room with Antonio Hall. Thanks for watching, everybody, here on Q92 Sports.